Hey, welcome back to my channel. It's been so long since I've sat down and filmed. A lot of the videos that you guys have seen have been pre-filmed. I feel like I just haven't been on YouTube in forever, but I have, like you guys have seen me. But you know, it's been like a busy it's just been a busy couple of weeks. Like August was a busy month, and now September, we're starting school. It's like the second week of school, and there's just a lot of change in schedule, change in season, just so much going on. So I just want to thank all of you guys for still being here and watching my videos. I probably will be going down to one video a week now, since I will be starting my class soon, in like a week, 2 weeks. I probably should remember, but I think it's like 2 weeks. So I will not be having as much time to dedicate to YouTube, but I'm still planning to put out videos for you guys. When I sat down here, I was looking at my camera and I noticed that there's a video on there that I still haven't edited, and it's the Medela Sonata hack. And I think I may have commented on some of my comments saying that video was already up, but it wasn't, so I'm sorry to those people who were like, where is this video that she is talking about? I haven't actually edited it, so that will be out soon. Hopefully that will be out next week. I'm hoping that this video goes out on Thursday, but we'll see. This week has still been crazy. And we are in a new location in my house because we did some switching around. As you can see, like if you watched my pump storage video, which I'll link up above if you haven't seen it, that is where my pump storage is. So right there is my freezer. We had to like move it around. We had to move around our living room a little bit because I didn't want my pump station near our wood stove because I didn't want it to get really dusty. Big story, but this is what I'm gonna work with for now, so I think it's fine, like whatever. I just like don't really like a lot of stuff in the background when I watch people's videos. I kind of just like plain, but that's just me, so we'll see how this works, and maybe I'll find like another corner or something in the house where I can film. But anyways, just jump into today's video. Today I wanted to talk about when to pump. When do you pump? How long do I pump? How do I pump? Not really how do I pump, but just when. Like when am I supposed to pump? I feel like I see this question all over the place. People, ask me when I pump. When should I pump? Should I pump when the baby's napping, eating? Can I pump before I feed them? Can I pump after I feed them? How do I exclusively pump? There's just like a lot of questions, and I feel like when do I pump is one of like the biggest ones that I see and get from time to time. So I wanted to address that. I have my handy notes, so if I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes. So I wanted to address like nursing and pumping mothers. So this is mothers who have baby and they are nursing, like more just nursing on demand, and then would like to start pumping for either a freezer stash, or they're going back to work, or they would just like to pump for peace of mind because they want to have a freezer stash. And then kind of at the end of this video, I'll leave like a timestamp right here in case you're like not interested in this part, but at the kind of closer to the end of this video, I'm gonna do like when to be pumping for exclusively pumping moms. So moms who are not actually nursing a baby but have a baby, or surrogates, whatever, what have you. Let's start with the nursing and pumping moms who want to have like a freezer stash or are going back to work. Now, when do you pump? When do you pump? Well, the thing about if you're nursing and pumping is that you're not like, I want you guys to not have the expectation of having a massive freezer stash. Now you see this on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. I've posted stuff about it. I'm an exclusive pumper, so it's a little different, but this really does go for everybody. And I still have to remind myself about this as well. Don't set your expectations like major high. Like you don't need to have 600 ounces in your freezer. if you're nursing a baby and pumping to go back to work. You don't need that much. However, if you happen to get that much, that's perfect. If you're an overproducer, that's fine. If you don't get that much, that's fine too. Like, don't beat yourself up about it. Don't try really hard not to compare yourself to other people's pumping. And I'm gonna admit, like, I do it all the time. It's really, really hard, but I want to put that out there because I am constantly reminding myself, like, don't compare yourself. Don't compare yourself. Like, your body, you can't be mad at your body for not producing enough milk because it's not something that you can like fully control. Yes, you can like take supplements and do all this stuff, but if you have an undersupply or even an oversupply, like, you might not be able to really fluctuate it that much, and that's just your body. And so I just want everybody to kind of go into it like in the mindset of, you know, I'm going to try my best, and if I don't get exactly what I want, I need to remind myself that it's my body, and I can't hold my body accountable for something that my body like can't really control, and I can't really control, but my body does control, if that makes any sense. I just want us to have like a reasonable expectation and not, you know, get really upset and just depressed about it, because I see a lot of it on some of the Facebook groups that I'm part of. Like, people just are so devastated when they don't have an oversupply, or people with an oversupply are devastated because they're just constantly at the pump. They have to empty like every 2 hours, and it's really hard for them, and they have no space in their freezer. Or somebody who's like, why is this person complaining that they don't have any space? Like, I don't have any milk. And it's kind of like, these two people need to like get together and like be friends, you know? Anyways, so I'm gonna like stop kind of rambling about that. But just, if you're nursing and pumping, have realistic expectations. Just be like, you know, I'm gonna try and have a little bit extra so that when I go back to work or whatever, you know, I can feed my baby breast milk. So if you're deciding to go back to work or whatever, you say you've decided to start your freezer stash, blah, 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 you want to do all that stuff. When do I pump? So you can really pump whenever you want if you're nursing a baby, because baby will like always make up for any pumping or any abstinence or just anything. The baby will make up for that, where a pump won't do that because it's a pump, it's not a human. So it doesn't have any of that magicalness that happens with nursing. So I would really say, if you want to like when to pump, is pump after your baby has nursed, because it'll be easier for you to pump because baby will be happy, so you can put baby down, put baby in swing, chair, to sleep, whatever. You can like kind of put the baby to the side, away, not really, but you can put the baby to the side, and then you can sort of relax and pump. Now, don't be discouraged if you really like don't get anything, like a couple of drops, an ounce or two. Like, don't be discouraged, because the baby has drained you throughout the day, so you're really not going to be getting that much. But that doesn't mean to stop. Like, keep kind of, you know, pumping like once in a while after they nurse. Maybe like add like 1 pump a day, or maybe 2 pumps a day. You really don't need to be pumping like 7 times a day if you're nursing and, you know, hoping to have a freezer stash. You don't need to be pumping 7 times a day. Like 1 or 2 times a day is fine. If you're looking to kind of if you need something fast, so to speak, this doesn't actually pertain to everybody because some people's bodies obviously work differently. But if you need like, you know, a faster freezer stash, which I know everybody's gonna be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna just do this one. Pump in the mornings. Your hormone levels are at their highest in the mornings / like really early morning, like 4 a.m. kind of, you know, range. 4 to like 6, 4 to, well, I'd say like 4 to 8 a.m. Your hormone levels are at their highest. So you're gonna like make a little bit more milk, therefore you'll be able to pump a little bit more. If you pump before you feed your baby will still get enough milk because they will stimulate another letdown while you're nursing them. So do not be just like upset or discouraged or be like, oh my God, like I just pumped and now they're hungry again. Nope, just put them right on the breast. They will stimulate it enough for you to have another letdown, Or maybe, you know, they're just like, oh, I'm not really that hungry. And which is fine, because then they just used you for a little comfort. That's totally fine as well. So really, realistically, pump whenever you need to. When you're at work, obviously pump then, and you want to kind of start on a schedule. And if your baby sort of feeds like roughly every 3 to 4 hours, you know, you want to kind of do the same when you're at work, or at least try to. When you're at work, there can be definitely more of a pump schedule, but then when you come home, baby will make up for any kind of like absences, if that sort of makes sense, when you're nursing. So when you go back to work and you pump at work, maybe you didn't get a lot, fine, that's fine. You're totally not going to get a lot like that first week you're back at work, because you're stressed and you're like, oh my god, I need to get the milk. So you're going to be a little stressed. So give your body like 7 to 10 days to really adjust to that schedule, which is hard. That's really hard to do. So, you know, let everything sort of adjust. Try not to worry too much about, you know, like making a ton of milk, because baby will make up for it at night. You probably will be up a little bit more that first, you know, 1 to 2 weeks back to work, but it will all, you know, just give it some time. Give your body time, give your baby time, give yourself time to adjust to this new schedule of pumping and nursing. Like, I just looked up and my camera had died, so I'm not really sure where it left off. But one thing that I do want to mention is if you're nursing and pumping, you want to start pumping once your supply has been established. So that's roughly like 1 to 2 months. Probably 2 months is like on the better side to start, but really you can start whenever you want. Let's see, for my keeper, for my youngest, I started probably like a month after he was born. I started pumping once a day, twice a day. I pumped like in the morning, and then I also pumped at night, and it was really great. I had a little freezer stash. I definitely did not have the freezer stash I have now, but I'm exclusively pumping, so that's different. How long should you actually be pumping? So if you're nursing and pumping, you really only need to pump for 10 to 20 minutes. That being said though, I would really pump for as long as you sort of feel that your breasts are empty. So, you know, everybody kind of knows like, oh, like, you know, I haven't nursed in a while, like I haven't pumped in a while, like some people even feel the letdown. That's kind of like when you should start pumping, if you feel a letdown. Like if you're at work, roughly pump between 10 to 20 minutes. But if your breasts like feel, you know, hard still, you might need to pump for a little bit longer, or you might need to check your flange size, check the suction on your pump, check your pump parts to make sure that they're all like, you know, up to speed and not like used a lot or like overused or whatever. I can't think of the word, I don't know why, but it's like drawing a blank. Like your valves aren't, you know, split or something. So, you know, definitely check that, but you really don't need to be pumping for like too long. Not like an exclusive pumper. At work, I would really like minimize it to like 20 minutes. You really don't need to do like a 30-45 minute session if you're nursing and pumping, if that makes sense. But you know, say you're at work and you only get to pump for 5 minutes, that's okay. Like, that's fine, because your baby will make up for anything that kind of, you know, gets messed up with your schedule. So like, don't be too discouraged if one day, oh no, you know, I didn't get my full like 20 minutes in. It's fine. Like, if you have an extra like couple minutes during work, you know, hook up to the pump again for another 5 minutes or 10 minutes. That's fine. As long as you kind of take out some milk, your body will know that, okay, like I'm still, you know, making milk. But like, one pump session is not going to completely like diminish your milk supply. I know sometimes it seems like it will. I don't know why. Like, even I sometimes feel that way. I'm like, oh my god, I missed one. Like, it's gonna go out the window and I'm never gonna be able to breastfeed again or pump or like anything. Like, I totally remember having that, like, those racing thoughts. But it's okay. Like, you just have to sort of stop and be like, everything's fine. It's fine. Okay, so I feel like I've just been rambling so much in this video. So I think that that's all I wanted to talk about for nursing and pumping. Now I want to talk a little bit about exclusively pumping and, you know, when to pump for that, and a little bit more details on kind of how to do that. So for an exclusively pumping mom, you really want to, if you want to pump like from birth you know, till whenever, you want to start like immediately. Obviously with colostrum and all that, I would really nurse if you can. If you're a gestational carrier and you don't want to nurse, I didn't nurse the circuit baby. I just hooked up to the pump, like, I don't know, probably 20-25 minutes after the birth, maybe 30. It's really hard to tell, you know, because you just delivered a baby. But just hook up to the pump as soon as you can, and you're not gonna get a lot. You're gonna get like the teensiest little amount, and that's totally normal in the beginning. It takes like a good, I want to say for me, it took a good 5 to like 7 days for my milk to stop being colostrum. Now that would vary. That'll totally vary with your body. It can take a little while, and since you're actually seeing everything that's coming out when you're exclusively pumping, it can be a little nerve-wracking because you're like, what? Why am I still making colostrum? Why am I not making, you know, mature milk? And just give your body time. Just keep pumping every 2 to 3 hours for like 30 to 45 minutes each time. You really want to make sure that you drain yourself really, really well when you're exclusively pumping, because you don't have a baby who's going to, you know, really drain you a lot better than a pump can. And the pump, it won't be able to drain you as good as a baby, so that's why you really want to make sure that you're empty, so that you don't get clogs, and you know, you just don't get any of that crappy stuff that goes with clogs. So ideally you want to be pumping every 3 hours or 8 to 10 times a day with one pump at night. I couldn't do 10 times. I did 8 times a day for about like, I want to say 1 to 2 months, or maybe it was like, no, it was definitely 3 months. Yeah, for 3 months. And you want to try and do like at least 8 to 10 pumps a day for 3 to 4 months. You want to like try to keep it at that. I would say like the minimum 3 months to really establish your supply. A baby will establish your supply a lot sooner. A pump won't, just because of the way it works. It's just not as perfect as a baby's mouth is to take milk out. So you really want to make sure that you have your supply up. And the biggest thing with exclusively pumping is pump on a schedule. If you are constantly changing and jumbling around, your supply is really gonna like go up and down, and your hormones are also gonna do the same, which is absolutely no fun for anybody, including you. So you really want to try and stick to your schedule. I feel like I had mastitis at like 3 months postpartum, and so I lost a lot of my ounces from that, and I had to cut back to 7 pumps a day, and then at like 4 months I cut down to 7 to 6 pumps a day. Yeah. And now I'm at 6 pumps a day, and I'm 5 months postpartum, and I'm thinking about cutting down to 5 pumps a day, but I'm not quite sure yet. You know, it's hard. It's an emotional thing to cut down a pump. It is, because with a nursing baby, the baby decides, you know, when to kind of cut stuff out, and you sort of notice, kind of like you do have like a connection. You're just like, oh, you know, like they don't need me as much, and it is upsetting. But I feel like with pumping it's more upsetting because it's all you that's in control with it, and you can sort of be like, oh, you know, do I actually want to have a little bit more time in my day and, you know, see some of my my supply go down a little bit. Like, it's really a give and take. Like, it's very, exclusively pumping is very emotional, and it can be upsetting, but it also can be really rewarding because you see how much you make, and you can help other babies and your baby, you know, get milk, and that's very rewarding. So I feel like I'm going off on a tangent on this pump, but you definitely want to stick to a schedule. You want to pump for at least 30 to 45 minutes, sometimes even more, like if it's in the morning. It really depends on what your supply is. Obviously, if you're having a ton of pain, it's hard to know what that's from, but I would first make sure you're lubricating your flange, check your flange size, and check the suction on your pump. If it's too high, turn it down. Higher suction does not mean more milk. No. You can still get a ton of milk on just level 1. Like, it's true. You do not need like a, you know, intense amount of suction. If you're exclusively pumping, I would definitely use the fridge and freeze flat method. I will do a more in-depth video on those. If you guys are interested in that, definitely comment below and give this video a like, and I will put that video out soon. But I don't really want to go too much into detail about it. If you are interested in it, just Google fridge method and freeze flat method, and it'll sort of explain it. But I do want to do like an in-depth video on kind of that whole process. So another thing that can like really help moms who are exclusively pumping and moms who are nursing and pumping are like keeping track of nursing and pumping kind of schedules and ounces and all that crap. I would definitely look into Pump Log. It's I think like $8.99 to buy it. Totally worth it. It's worth its weight in gold for exclusively pumping moms. And then if you're not exclusively pumping and really don't want to like pay for an app, I would check out the Medela app. I really like that app. It is good for exclusive pumpers as well. But I think it's a little bit more geared to nursing and pumping. So if you're nursing and pumping mom, you will love that app. And that app also, you know, connects to the Medela Sonata. So it's fun. You know, it's all like technical, which that's really fun. When to pump, I guess, as an exclusive pumper, you know, you really want to be sticking to that every 3 hours. And when to drop a pump, that's really up to you, because you don't have, well, if you're a surrogate, you know, you don't have a baby, so it's really up to you. But even with your own baby, it is really up to you, like when you want to drop a pump, when you want to either supplement with formula, excuse me, or start going through your freezer stash. It's all up to you. It's all in your control with exclusively pumping. And that's why a lot of people do exclusively pump. It's because they want that control. They want to make sure that they know exactly how much they're making. They know exactly how much baby's getting. Maybe they hate nursing, so they want to pump. You know, there's a ton of reasons why people exclusively pump. And my main reason was because I was a surrogate and I always like wanted to try exclusively pumping. That being said, if we had our own baby, I don't think that I would exclusively pump. I would definitely nurse and pump like I did with my keepers. I do love having the freezer stash. Like, it is kind of like this fun thing that I like looking at. But that being said, it's a lot of work and it does take time away from family time. It really does. And so that is something that you sort of have to, you know, mentally prepare yourself for. Pumping and nursing really doesn't take that much time because you're not pumping as much. And usually like baby's either, you know, on the other side or like right next to you. Just because, and it's the same with exclusively pumping as well too, but you really are, you know, making sure that you're on that schedule. And I feel like, especially since I'm doing the milk bank, I take away a lot of time with my family. I don't want to make, that was probably a little confusing when I said before, because I do have to do a lot of extra stuff with cleaning and everything as an exclusive pumper because I am donating to a milk bank. So I do kind of take out even more time than an exclusive pumper would. But, you know, that being said, it does like take some time. And nursing does as well, but there is sort of that like a little bit more bonding that goes on. But with an exclusive pumper, you get that bonding when you're bottle feeding them. And a lot of times it's easy to pump and bottle feed baby as well. So that is another time that you can pump as well. And I've seen a lot of people do that, and I feel like that definitely works for a lot of people. So I feel like that's all that I wanted to say in this video. I hope that this video was informative for you guys. If there's any other like, you know, questions that you guys have that you want me to do like a whole video on, or any like pumping related questions, please comment them below and I will try to get videos out for you guys, or comment them. I really try to like comment you guys back, you know, with any of your questions. So I hope that I'm doing that enough, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and please give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe on your way out. We are trying to reach 500 subscribers and there will be another giveaway. So yeah, but I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and I will see you in my next.